It's Diane from Teach PreK, and today I'm going to show you some of my favorite polar animal themed math centers. And most of these centers are available in my All About Polar Animals 5-day lesson plan. I'll put the link in the description as well as links to anything else you might need. This is pretty simple and straightforward. So I'm going to start with some shape activities. So I have got Yeti's No Shapes. I just put these in one of these little learning resources dry erase pouches, and I get my dry erase marker, and the kids will just practice making ovals, triangles. I also have squares, rectangles. Let me see what else, because I also have these in black and white in case they want to take them home. So we've got squares and ovals, all these cute little Yetis, rectangles, triangles, and circles. So we've got our basic shapes, and that is in my lesson plan in color that you can put in these dry erase pouches or in black and white. Another fun little dry erase pouch activity I have is count and trace. So you count the polar animals and you trace the number. So this is a good counting, numeral recognition, and fine motor activity. So you just take your dry erase marker, you follow that. I'm not watching what I'm doing, so I think it was pretty terrible. But if you've watched any of my other videos, this is my favorite hack for erasing dry erase, giant pom-pom. And you just erase when you're done. And I think these go up to 15. So you'll have 1 through 15 there. I also have these little penguins with numbers on their bellies on chenille sticks. And what you do with these is these are a great numeral recognition, counting, and fine motor activity. You get some pony beads and you set these out. Each kid can get a set. And for this one, I want to put 5 beads on my little chenille stick. Now, I know this isn't in my lesson plan, but I know I made these. So if you want them, let me know in the comment section, and I'll see if I can find the file for these, or I might just go ahead and add them to my lesson plan. But there you go. And then you can have these out in small group and let the kids work independently. And then you just count just with the kids to make sure that they have the right amount of beads on. Super easy to clean up, super low prep. All I did is these are just double-sided. I even have a little dashed edge, so you'd cut them out, fold them over, and just give them a staple onto. I used half a chenille stick because I think I was running out at the time. But you could use a whole one too. It just becomes really hard for the kids to handle. A half is a lot better. So that's that activity. I also made a set of these little dominoes. So I would do this on the rug. The kids would count the animals, and then just like dominoes, they can line them up and match them up like that. And it's pretty easy because they'll just match up the pictures. I stop and make them count and tell me how many of the polar animals that they see. So that is a fun activity. This activity is one I really like. I just put these out in trays with a little container of Unifix Cubes. You see the cute little polar bear. You see the number 1, and you would just put 1 Unifix Cube there. And I think these go at least up to 10. And then 2 Unifix Cubes on this one, and so on and so on. So this is a great independent activity or something that you can really work on the kids together. This has been my favorite. I think I just added this to my lesson plan maybe last year. I have 10 of these animals, 10 polar animals. And this says, I'm hungry, feed me 10 fish. Well, I made sure that what you're feeding them is what this animal actually eats. So it says, I'm a penguin. I like to eat fish and other water animals. So I've got polar bear, Arctic fox, beluga whale, narwhal, all those animals. And I just put them on these little shopping bags. I got these at Michael's. They fit a whole sheet really well. I cut out the mouth, laid it down on the bag, traced it, cut it out on the bag. So now I've got the little animal with the mouth. And then I've got little cards that have what they actually eat on them. So they would feed them right into their mouth, 10 fish. What's really fun is if you actually had manipulatives that would go with all of these things. That would be really cute. I have a lot of fish manipulatives that I could use, but some of the things like squid, I don't have squid, but you could definitely find manipulatives to feed them too. So that is awesome. That's in my 5-day lesson plan. And that goes from 1 to 10. Last but not least, I'm going to show you my spin, graph, and count. This is great. You need one of these clear spinners from Hand to Mind. I just scotch taped it on there. You can get just the spinner part and you could put a hole through this and kind of keep the spinner on it if you'd like. But I kind of like these because it makes everything lay nice and flat. So what I do in small groups is I give each kid a mat, and then I give them a container with all the correct colors of Unifix Cubes. We'd give it a spin, and if you land on yellow, you would put a Unifix Cube on yellow. And for as many yellows as you get, you would keep adding them on and adding them on. And I let the kids do this for a long time, and I'm pretty theatrical while they're doing it. I'll be like, oh my gosh, you don't have any blue? Yeah, you got to get a blue. Or you've got more red than anything. Don't spin red again. And they just think it's amazing and fun. So I let them play this as long as they want. This is always a favorite center. And then when we're done, we record how many. And you could have a recording sheet for every child, or you could use one recording sheet for the group and add up to a really big number. But same thing, you just use your expo markers and you would write how many. Erase it with a pom-pom when you're done. But everything but the pony bead, penguins, and that mitten, spin, graph, and count are in my 5-day lesson plan. I think this was in a freebie. If not, I'll find where this was and I'll put a link down below. But also, if you have a request, just let me know in the comment section and I'll see what I can do for you. But thanks so much for watching and have a great Polar Animals week.